Hey, my name is Eagle Eye Cherry, and I'm on Loveline, coming up next on MTV.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content.
Loveline. Viewer discretion advised.
Good evening and welcome to Loveline. Tonight's special guest, Eagle Eye Cherry. I am Diane Farr, and here are my boys, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
All right.
All right, settle down. Blink the lights on and off. That'll do it. Women, guys' hair's about making it look the same as it did before.
Every day.
Women's about changing it up.
Always.
You know what I mean? Like, if your hair looks different, you're pissed, right?
Yeah, right. That's right.
You go to the barber, what do you say? I want it to look like it did when I came here last time.
Just a little shorter.
Right. You ever have a barber say, hey, who screwed your hair up? Somebody cut your hair, but nobody cut your hair. It was just them who cut it last time. And you don't know whether to say, like, maybe you're drunk or something. All right.
What are we doing tonight? Come on.
We're going to start the show. That's what we're going to do. Welcome to Loveline. Adam Drew, board-certified physician, Dixon Medicine specialist. Of course, Diane, we'll go to the audience and get some questions. We'll go to the phones and take some questions. We'll use the godforsaken via TV
there it
phone.
is. There it is.
Yeah, can we get a shot of this thing?
Yes.
Yes.
We ship that thing all over the country.
The devil worked long and hard in his basement. Yes, even the devil has a basement, Drew. That's where he puts together his special concoctions. So we'll send this out. And tonight, our guest is a guy we had on the radio about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Eagle Eye Cherry will be here. So we will get things underway by going to the audience and speaking to Fuller, who's 23. Fuller?
Well, I've been dating this girl for about a year now, and every time I orally pleasure her, my face breaks out in this rash. And, well, my buddies have found out about it, and now it's kind of become a scarlet letter type thing. And
I mean, when you have the rash, they know what
they know exactly what it is, and they know what I've been doing.
You ever had a rash in any other context?
No, sure
Just
haven't.
this.
Sure haven't.
You have it now?
No. I mean, it's a big red rash. You
But
would
I'm just
know.
curious what it is. And it goes away after?
After between 2 and 5 days, a few days.
What the heck?
Just depending.
I kind of got a weird idea here.
Uh-oh.
Does she shave? Is there a bikini line?
No.
Okay, it's a hair thing. It's the hair that's giving you the rash. If you tell her what it is, she can go and get a bikini wax and make the hair line a little bit thinner.
Right.
It's an awkward thing to say.
We will
but
answer
it's
any question
from-
here, I swear to God. This just proves it to me.
Is there anything that's beneath us, Drew?
No, not just beneath, we'll just go anywhere, that's all. Into the devil's basement if necessary.
You're saying that rubbing on the crotch hair is causing
hair will do it.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think if she had waxed or shaved or something that that would be even rougher?
No.
Not the waxing, not
I
that
understand what you're
day,
saying,
but
the
down
skin
the
would be
road.
rougher.
Wouldn't it be when it started to grow back?
There's sort of a time frame that women, sometimes it's explained to them, sometimes it's not, of when the hair is growing, that it's more coarse. And it's her responsibility in a certain way not to have you go there if it's going to be uncomfortable for your face. Just, this isn't, your mother doesn't sit you down and tell you when to wax.
I have an invention. It's been it's been a while, but in like the airport bathrooms, they have those toilet seat liners. There's just a hole and a thing that goes around it. Wouldn't there be some sort of dispenser? Not as big, obviously. But and maybe without that useless flap that seems. Yeah, why do you have to punch the center of those things out? Don't they know there's got to be a hole there? But the point is, couldn't he put like? You put like a batting donut on your mouth or something?
I don't know of any medical problem. I'm trying to think if there's anything. If I could see the rash, I could tell you more about what it is. But as far as I know, what they're talking about, I think I heard them, is a reasonable explanation for this. But I don't think you have to worry about there being any medical problem, okay?
Okay.
All right. That's God telling you to move on, by the way, to get that rash. Believe me.
I'm
I
telling
got
you.
one of those rashes. That have an
I'm telling you to
excuse.
move on. Let's go on.
All right, well, go to the phone and speak to Maurice, 26.
Yeah, I used to wear silk boxers, and now last week I went and bought a bunch of women's panties, and now I wear them at work and everywhere I go. And I'm not gay. I just want to know, why do I like to do this, and how should I break it to the girl that I'm with?
You're a male.
I
Yeah,
was wondering that myself, yeah.
yeah. It's a little joke God played on me.
Oh, the high voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't kidding around. I don't think. Why would God do that to Maurice?
Why
Is
can't
there
you-
anything up with you physically, or is it just the
No,
voice?
it's just the voice.
You're otherwise normal development,
Yes.
this sort of thing. You're on any medications.
No.
Because you
And-
combine the voice and the panties, and you might have.
Yeah.
That's, now
That's
you're
trouble.
ripe for ridicule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but look, let's just focus on the question at hand, and that is why somebody would choose to do this sort of thing. There's lots of theories about why men do this. I mean, it is in the category, the realm of fetishes, certainly. And do you have other fetishes that you need in order to function sexually?
No.
Okay.
Just a woman.
But that's not even sexually that you need to wear that, correct?
But it,
No, I just like the way they feel, and
Right.
guys' stuff is pretty lame. I mean, women.
well, if it's something you just like how it feels, why are you calling us? You know, you must be sort of conflicted about it in some way.
Well, I just wanted to know how common it was, and how should I tell my girlfriend?
Most men that choose to do this sort of thing don't do it just because of how it feels. It's how it makes them feel that they do it. And it's part of a whole, again, there's all kinds of theories about why this happens developmentally. It's sorts of issues about your mom and your relationship with your mom when you're growing up, and your own sexuality, and being overwhelmed by those sorts of feelings that were
Hey,
coming
it's what
upon
you
you at
call a
young age.
package deal. You know what I mean? The panties just don't come on their own. There's
Right.
stuff that comes along when you
Yeah.
order the panties.
Yeah, and it
That's
usually-
the whole package.
Right.
And it
And
all-
Maurice, I think there's more components to your package than just what you're putting your package in, which is the women's panties.
right, right.
There's got to be more there. Here's
Yes.
what I've learned from
Yeah.
this show. If I think it's weird, it's weird. Things don't just float out there on their own.
Yes,
There's,
that's true.
There's, you know, it's not like, well, the guy's Carl Sagan, but he just wore women's panties, and that's it. Other than that, he loves his kids, he loves his wife, he's a clinical researcher, has no skeletons in his closet. No, I've never seen it happen that way. There's something going on here.
There's something going on, but sometimes people are able to function normally. You wouldn't see any big issues if these fetishes remain in very narrow areas of their life.
But isn't it worthwhile to figure out on his own why he's sort of having these feelings before he's trying to explain it to a partner?
I don't think he will.
You ever go with the thong back, Maurice?
Sometimes.
Oh,
most
that
people,
can't be pretty.
Most people with fetishes are uncomfortable with it. They know it's not right, but they have no connection emotionally with what's motivating it. They really don't understand it.
And can they figure it out
Not
if they
usually.
spend some time?
No, not usually. So, I mean, I think it's one of these things where you have to either hide it or you tell a girlfriend, hopefully it's somebody you're close with, and you stay focused on the fact that it's just something that helps. It's a clothing issue and not a sexuality issue.
I say he changes his name to Jake and gets himself some big, like, burlap boxer shorts. Because other than
not
that,
gonna
he's asking for trouble. All right. You ever wear the women's panties?
Can't say I have. You?
I have put on a pair in a pinch when I somehow
Challenge or
Flipped over
something?
lost
somebody's
a pair of
house.
underpants or they caught on fire, they were confiscated, or something like that.
How'd that feel?
They don't ride just right, you know. They're not right. They're not really cut for a man. Let's see if we can make a smooth transition from the wedgies and the underpants into our guests here. Drew.
Go right ahead.
I don't know of any. We
We
had
like
him on
him.
the radio
We know
show. We like the guy. He's got a good record out. He's Eagle Eye Cherry. Eagle Eye, by the way, is his real name, and I know you go through this everywhere you go, but I was sitting in my dressing room just a couple of minutes before we came out here, and I was thinking about your name, and we talked before on the radio about it and stuff, and I was thinking, it kind of works, though, because he kind of looks like an eagle eye. And
How
I
are you
thought,
supposed to look with an...
I'm just saying, if you were like a big, fat albino kid. Picture just a big rosy-cheeked white kid, big and fat, who came in with red hair.
Yeah.
And your name was Eagle Eye. People would be going, see, it wouldn't work at all.
This
You
ain't
know what I'm
working
saying?
either.
I know what you're saying, but
But this,
You're on
this
your own.
kind of works.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's a compliment.
Is that what?
All right, so Eagle Eye went to the Fame School where they made the movie about and everything, and was originally kind of an actor, right?
Yeah, well, I got kind of sidetracked for a while, but yeah, I was doing the whole acting thing, and I went to the Fame School, and I didn't dance on tables and all that, but I had a really good time there, and then I started getting some work when I got out of there. But I was still playing music, so it was kind of, I didn't have a plan or anything.
In what do you like better, or what do you want to do, or
music.
just everything?
No, definitely music.
Oh, really?
It's fantastic. I'm having a great time. And there's more, you know, there's the writing, which is kind of a real personal thing, and then you got the studio, seeing your ideas come to life, and,
Right.
and then you got this performing, getting on stage.
I read something cool in Eagle Eye's bio, and I'll paraphrase here, but he basically said when he was a kid, he wrote songs about how he wanted the world to be, and now as an adult, he writes songs about how the world is. Huh. Did I screw that up?
No, but it was more like when I just started writing songs, and then when I got into it now.
Right.
Yeah, I guess my story, it's kind of stories that I write, and it's kind of observations, very much New York kind of characters and stuff like that.
And are you living in New York now, or are you in Stockholm?
I'm in Stockholm. Well, at the moment, I'm never there, but yeah, I'm based in Stockholm at the moment.
But is that, if I had to send you something, would I send it to
Send it to
Sweden?
Stockholm. No, actually, send it to my manager, and then I'll get it.
Life has changed a
Yeah,
lot.
very much.
All right. Well, you jump in. You know how the wiggle goes. You
All right.
help us
Go and,
help through over here.
Give some advice here?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Diane is on the phone. Diane's 21.
Hi.
Diane?
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, my sister recently told me that she's a man trapped in a woman's body. She
boy.
started dressing like a man. She cut off all of her hair.
Is she going through a formal transformation? Is she planning an operation, that sort of
Yes,
stuff?
yes,
Is she
she
being
is.
followed by a group that does this kind of thing?
I'm sorry?
Is she being followed by a professional group that does this sort of thing?
Well, do you mean like a support group?
Not a support group so much. I mean, usually surgical centers that do this
don't-
require you to live like a man as a year or a
Oh,
woman.
no, she hasn't had anything formal yet.
No
but
formal.
She's been talking to these people on the internet who are like, you know, they're transvestites, and
Yeah.
they've been telling her, you know, I think they're lying to her about certain aspects of the surgery because, you know, I understand that once you get the surgery done, if you're going from woman to man, you can't pee standing up. And they told her that she'll be able to. You know,
I
and
don't know
think
that much
that
about.
They can relocate the urethra.
Yeah, I don't
mean,
know that much
can they?
about the procedure. I don't know that that's the case.
Well,
That's probably the smallest of your worries about your sister anyway, right?
What happened to your sister? I mean, this.
You know, I don't know. Well, that's just the beginning of my problems. Okay, I'm getting married. Okay, and so
That's a big problem.
You want to marry your sister after she becomes a man?
that's really nice.
That'd be great. I'd like to get trapped in a woman's body once in a while myself.
Okay, anyway. So she's going to be coming to my wedding as a man, and my fiance's family has no idea about this, and, you know, they're going to think it's crazy, and my mom's already devastated, and I have no idea what to do. I want her at my wedding, but, you know, I don't want her there as a man.
Yeah, it's a strange phenomenon, I have to tell you. I mean, I don't want to judge what anybody does, but I've dealt with a number of these people clinically, and I can't figure it quite out. I mean, the men that want to become women often want to do it in order to have lesbian relationships.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I don't understand that, and that they go through a year of psychological counseling
Right.
in order to make sure they're.
That's the part I can't figure out. Yeah. We have to study you for a year to make sure you're totally sane before we lop your penis off. To me,
Fulfill your dream.
That
Fulfill
is
your dream with
just
that.
the definition of insanity.
Insanity.
Hey, burning, you know, liking fire,
Yeah.
I can identify with that. Killing even, I could identify with more than wanting to have my genitalia cut off.
And
I mean,
we-
that is the definition of insane.
I mean, the fact is, these women have excess chromosomes. Your wife, your sister is not an XY. She's biologically a female,
Yes,
which
she
is a
is.
different brain structure, different organic components. I mean, it's a different system than male.
What is she? what is she like sexually now? I mean, is she like men or women?
Well,
or?
you know what? All of her life, she's kind of been androgynous, sort of. She has trouble associating with people socially. She doesn't make friends very easily. She has trouble at her job.
Did anything happen to her when she was younger?
You know what? I don't know.
Was there any suspicion about that? Any concern about that?
Nobody has any concerns about that except for me, and I have nothing to base it on. Our father left when we were little, you know, and I don't know. I
think, wouldn't it be feasible at this point if you said to your sister, I'm totally behind everything that you want to do for the purposes of my wedding, could you come as a woman just for the wedding? I don't think it's an unreasonable question to ask her and see what she has to say. If you're honest about how awkward you feel with this, you'll probably get into a pretty good discussion about why.
Should she be excluding her sister if she insists on coming as a man?
I don't think so, because the sister has to face all of her family also, and this doesn't have to be her coming out party. She can do it at another time.
I think that's the point, is that I would hope your sister could be empathic with what Diane's needs are,
right.
Which is just to not create a controversy on her wedding day. And her family is already dealing with Diane's sister's problems.
Well, wait till she gets into the punch. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Let's talk to Kiki. What's going on, Kiki?
Hi, I am 23 years old, and I've been married for like 2 years, and I've been with my husband for 8. I've never been able to have an orgasm, and my husband is stationed away right now. I recently met a guy, and one thing led to another. He performed oral sex on me, and I had a triple orgasm. I'm wondering, how can I teach my husband to help me reach the orgasm without revealing that I'm cheating on my husband?
All right.
That's great.
Yeah, this is a mess. We're gonna take some audience comments on this one too.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a look at a clip from Eagle Eye Cherry's video. We'll take some commercials, and then we'll come back and get into Kiki.
Well, we know I'm going away, and how I wish it were so. So take this wine and drink with me. Let's delay our misery. Say tonight.
If you have questions for Loveline or would like to embarrass Dr. Drew, please call us at 323-520-LOVE. Long-distance charges may apply.
All right, more Loveline with Eagle Eye Cherry. Desireless is the name of the CD, and when we left off, we're speaking to Kiki. Kiki's on the phone. Drew's in the audience.
Cheated on her husband.
Yeah, she couldn't have an orgasm with her husband, or I guess never has had an orgasm with her husband, but when she cheated, she had the elusive triple.
Hat trick.
She pulled the hat trick off. He pulled off the hat lick, by the way.
I've actually never had an orgasm in my life.
You never had one ever in any way?
In any way.
Was this the first time anybody had ever performed oral sex on you?
Since I was 17, I started having sex.
Listen, is this the first time anybody had ever performed oral sex on you?
No way, no.
No, but this is the first time everybody did it effectively.
Yes.
Do you think it was because it was this guy, or was it the way he did it?
No, he didn't do it any different. He didn't
was just
start
being
any
with this guy.
Yeah.
I get that feeling from Kiki that something's really up with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Don't
well,
you?
Anyone who calls the show, Drew, you get that feeling about it.
But really, honestly, I mean,
Henry Kissinger called the show. You'd say
how
he's
old were you when you got
molested,
married,
yeah.
Kiki?
I was 20.
20.
I turned 21 the next month.
How old were you when you first started having sex?
I was 17.
Nothing before that?
I was actually a stripper from 16 to 20.
All right. What happened before that, then? What happened? See, that's that feeling, okay, Adam? You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And I love that this is the information that really isn't relative
Right.
until you probe.
I know, they leave that out.
There was this period of time where I dated a horse, but, you know.
Except for that. It has nothing to do with my orgasmic function now. Were you sexually abused when you were a child?
I actually
What happened to you when you were a
was
child?
molested from the time I was 5 to 13 from my
Right.
grandma's boyfriend.
All right. Okay. That's what I'm getting at. And so you're going to have lots of feelings about men. It's going to be hard for you to function normally, to have regular intimacies. Even if you do achieve some kind of closeness, you're probably going to sabotage that, and that might be what's going on here. I mean, how could she possibly maintain stable intimacy after having been traumatized and violated by men?
By someone stable in your family.
Well, it
I think
doesn't bother me. It's not like I think about it.
You know
I
what,
blocked
Kiki?
it out.
You don't
Yeah,
think
you
about
block
it, you
it
just
out.
act about it.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't think about
It's
it.
on autopilot.
You act on it, and
But
that's.
you know how some people, they just, oh, he did this, I never forget it. It doesn't bother me. I
Kiki,
never think about it.
we talk to a lot of people that have this sort of past, and 95% of them say, I've dealt with it. But then they're calling about some extraordinary behavior. Let's see what the audience says about, has opinions about this. So.
Hi. Maybe you shouldn't tell your husband that you're cheating on him, but you should tell him exactly what the guy was doing to give you an orgasm and use a roundabout way, like maybe your best friend and you were having a conversation on sex and she was telling you kind of things that her and her partner do.
Well, I tried everything. I even tried nasty movies.
But Kiki, this guy didn't do anything different to you. It was just the fact that you were in this sort of thrilling situation, right?
I think it's because of the secretive and getting caught.
All right, hold on.
Have you ever thought maybe it's because you've been with him since you were 15, if you haven't had anything new, just the point that you're with somebody else? I mean, 15 is a long time to be with somebody.
No. See, I had boyfriends when I was with him. He was just my main man.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I didn't have sex with all these guys.
Hold on. Wait. One more.
Second.
I didn't have sex with all these guys.
I know.
Okay.
Listen, listen. We're all laughing our asses off, but here's
It's not funny.
Here's the deal. Some guy victimized her grandma's boyfriend for 8 years.
Her grandma's boyfriend.
Wait, but there's a very specific thing about molestation with a family member when people are young, that it's supposedly built into your sexuality that you think it has to be deviant or sneaky.
Yeah.
Because your initial sexual reactions were sneaky. And you are not going to get past this till you deal with that aspect of molestation.
Let's make one last comment from the audience, because this was what she wanted to say, too.
Yeah, I've known a lot of people that they can't achieve any sort of orgasm unless they're doing something that's deviant, whether it be having sex with someone underage or cheating on somebody else. It's a programmed behavior.
And it's from this sort of trauma.
Drew, do you have a mic on you?
Yeah, but they told me to do it this way.
Come over here. You're making me nervous. I don't like it when Drew leaves his throne. Come on, Bubby. Sit down. All right, but here's my whole deal. The orgasm
is not the issue.
Like, oh, man, she's got bigger fish.
That is rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Right.
Well, how do I show him? Because I actually took his virginity.
Girlfriend, it's not about him.
It's
You
not
gotta go
about
take care of
him.
you.
Don't have any kids.
Yes.
I mean,
God bless it.
That's
Please.
all I can say.
Don't have
Stop
kids.
acting out. Just stop it. You got to get some therapy. You have to do some work. You were molested for 8 years. There's no way you can get past that without therapy. I saw my dad's butt crack once when he was getting something under the sink when I was about 9. 8 years of therapy has not done a thing. I'm still traumatized to this day. I swear to God. So there's no way that she doesn't need a ton of therapy.
All right.
All right. So don't even worry about the orgasm.
There are survivors of abuse groups out there, and that survivor
and that'll
groups,
be the most helpful.
and that's the direction you need to go.
But you see, you screw with somebody early while I like to say the cement is still wet. You know, when you're a kid, you carve those initials in there like her grandmother's boyfriend did, and that's it. It's just autopilot from that day on.
You got a
just
stripper.
acting out. Chaos. All right, Shanna is on the via phone. We'll send this thing out to her. Where is Shanna?
She's
Eastern
in
Washington.
Right, Eastern Washington University. Hi, what's going on there?
Not much. About 2 weeks ago, I was coming home from a party pretty late to my apartment, and my roommate hadn't gone out that night. So as I'm going into my room, her room is right next to mine, and I saw her messing around with somebody, and I noticed that it was one of our other girl friends. And so I was pretty surprised, and that part didn't really make a difference to me or anything, that it was girl and girl. But the fact is that both of them have boyfriends, and both of the boys are my good friends. And so I don't know how I should go about if I should tell him, because I talked to both of the girls, and they said that they have been experimenting with each other a couple times, but It's nothing really serious, and it's not like a real relationship, they say.
How close are they with their boyfriends? Are these committed relationships?
Yeah, one's going out for like a year and a half, and the other one's been like 8 months or so.
How good of friends are you with these guys?
Right.
Pretty good, because we're all in the same circle of friends. We hang out I mean, they're always at our house. So.
I always find you gotta talk. You gotta talk to the girl. You gotta talk to them and make them deal with it and talk to their boyfriends. I
And
don't think you
sometimes
shouldn't
the
come in between.
ultimatum of if you don't do it, I'm going to do it is better. But it's not your responsibility.
Yeah, fundamentally, she needs to be out of this messy circle. But I do agree with you. You do have some responsibility.
Do you like either one of the guys?
What?
Do you like either one of the guys?
No, I have a boyfriend.
Do you like him?
Yes.
You do? I don't know. I think you're stirring things up here.
Yeah, I agree with
Well, I talked to the girls already, and I said, you need to tell them, and they were like, well, it doesn't really count as cheating because we're just good friends that are experimenting with each other.
Yeah, yes, the statement is accurate, but it is cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, any intimacy, I mean, really, when you think about costs of, how intimacy gets destroyed, even other kinds of intimate contact through internet and all kinds of ways people interact in intimate ways can detract from your primary intimacies. You're only as sick as your secrets are, really, and you tend to take things away from your investment in your primary intimacy if you're doing things elsewhere, which in college is sort of normal.
Right.
But I think these are your friends, and they need to know what they're into here. You have to encourage the women to step up and be honest. I think you need to kind of stay out of it as much as possible. I don't see where it's her responsibility to step up.
No, and if it comes out that they find out later and they find out that you knew, you can say, I approached them and I asked them to speak to you, and that was the most I could do for you.
Well, you could even just lie and say they said they did. I mean, you just play
or
stupid.
Lie,
Adam always has that out.
Thanks, Jenna. There's an impulse you have when you're younger, and maybe it's just sort of general chaos, but getting involved with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And as you get older, it leaves you.
Well, some of that is lack of boundaries and wanting to sort of, it's an expansiveness that young people have.
But you should want to fix the world at 20 years old, and by the time you finish college, you realize it's never going to happen, and you just stick to fixing your own. But I think you're trying to draw your integrity line at that stage of like what's good and what's not.
Right. What
and
can I?
Yeah. Now I swear, I was like save the whales, save the rainforest. Now I'll step right over a pregnant woman who's passed out. In my dress, I just walk right by. Boy, I hope someone stops. I'm old. I don't care anymore, Drew. I want my paycheck. I want to go home. That's it. No, don't worry. You guys will be wanting to do the same thing soon. All right. Is that Cherry?
Cherry, right?
Oh, where's he?
She's at the hidden wall.
Hidden wall of shame over there.
Cherry.
Yeah, I've been dating this guy for 2 months, and almost every time we have sex, he puts his finger in his butt in order to climax, and I'm like so freaked out. I don't know why he's doing this or how to confront him.
All right, hold on.
This is a winning day.
Hold on.
That's quite a technique. All right. Drew, you have plenty of thoughts on this?
No.
All right. Eagle Eye, you got a thought or two.
Nasty.
You don't have to come over there yet, but Diane, I'm sure. This is your bread and butter, right?
Oh, yeah.
We talked. All right. We'll take, it's at least their butter. I'm not sure if there's any bread in there. We'll take a little break, and we'll come back and get the Cherry and her.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. I'm Robbie.
I'm Mike. And I'm John, and you're watching Loveline on MTV.
You can email Loveline at loveline3@aol.com. Please include your phone number.
All right, more Loveline with Eagle Eye Cherry and Four Eye Drew over here. When we left off, that'd be your Indian name.
Sure.
Before I.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
All right. When we left off, we're speaking to Cherry through the wall of shame over here. That way she doesn't have to be seen on TV.
Right.
All right, what was the question?
A boyfriend has a weird technique.
He has to put his finger in his behind to have an orgasm.
Right.
For 2 months you've been doing this?
For like a month now.
You brought it up to him?
No, I'm afraid to. I don't know how to bring it up to him.
You haven't told him how you feel about this?
No, I haven't.
It's such a funny line when you can be that intimate with someone and watch them do it and not feel comfortable enough to discuss it.
It's her feelings that she doesn't feel are appropriate.
Uh-huh.
Is the relationship going okay?
Yeah, it's good. And we talk about everything else, just I don't want to, I feel like I might offend him.
Yeah, see,
I'm guessing his sensibilities aren't quite that delicate if he's ramming his hand up his ass. You know, it's not like the Queen of England's. You're telling her her tiara's askew or something.
What does he do for a living?
He sells cars.
Okay.
Perfect. Oh, I bet this guy shakes hands all day, too. How are you?
All right.
Oh, come on. I gotta make jokes about it.
All right, Cherry, what is it that freaks you out about this?
It's bothering me because it seems like the only way he can climax is by doing that.
Why does that bother you?
Because it doesn't seem like I'm satisfying him or doing anything for him, and I'm wondering if...
You see, all I hear you talking about is how invalidated you feel in this relationship. Your feelings are invalid. You can't tell them how you're feeling. You feel like you're not satisfying him, even though he just has this technique he needs to do for himself. Has nothing to do
But
with
if he
you.
likes to get things up his butt, wouldn't that worry you a bit? I mean,
About what?
I don't know. I mean, if you like to get things up your butt.
I mean about his
proclivity sexually? Maybe having another person.
You know, I would think that's a natural correlation, but there doesn't seem to be one. You know, between guys being gay and guys who like stuff in the butt.
It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Although it helps. It certainly doesn't hurt, I'll put it that way.
Some guys like the prostate to be massaged, and that's
So
just...
do some women.
You don't have a prostate, though.
Well, some
they
people
like
like the finger technique.
Listen, I would like my prostate to be massaged if I could take it off like my watch and put it on the nightstand. And someone could, like, a midget could work it over while I was having sex. The problem is the prostate's like good 8 inches in the ass. And it's the journey that worries me, not the destination. You know?
All right, but the point is there's nothing implicit in that action that you should be worried about, okay? I'm actually more worried about the way...
I'd be more worried about the fact the guy sells cars.
Well,
and
that she can't feel comfortable enough to express her feelings.
Yeah.
And you worry that it's something you're doing to make, you know, that it's your inadequacy that makes him need this thing, and you don't feel valid enough to be able to express what it is he makes you feel. I mean,
all right,
you
so
don't
Cherry,
like this.
speak to him and do it before
your feelings
you
are
get
valid. I mean,
intimate.
this is a message for all women. Don't worry about making a guy happy or comfortable or keeping the guy. Worry about trusting your instincts and your feelings and expressing them and making sure those things are met before you worry about what the guy's needs are.
Right. Unless the guy's got a show or something, in which case you would send him backward to make him happy.
All right, so we're going to do a Love Line
Kissing
rewind.
more feminine ass, as usual.
All right. This originally aired in February of 1998. Chris Penn was the guest. Paige, her boyfriend cheated with her best friend.
A couple of weeks ago, I was hanging out with my boyfriend and my best friend, and we were drinking and we got drunk, and I got really sick. And while I was upstairs very ill, they were downstairs, I suspected, hooking up. And I found out not a couple days ago that they were actually hooking up, and not only hooking up, but she was coming back up here to visit him behind my back.
Get out of it. Mourn it, lose it, and get on with your life and be happy.
Wow,
I was so much more deliberate last year. Well, I don't know what's happened to me.
You lost your will to live this year.
I guess so. All right, so we've got Paige on the phone. Paige?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What happened?
Well, as for her, after the airing, I left a note on her car, you know, really just saying that I was really disappointed, and not for anything in particular. Like, I didn't want her to come back and apologize. I mean, I was really done with her, you know. I just wanted her to know that I knew and that it really wasn't cool and whatever. And as for him, he lives in my town, like his family lives there, so he's kind of unavoidable, unfortunately.
So you did break up with him?
Yes.
And
yes.
did you tell him why?
No. Well, we really didn't get into
into it. It was just like, this is done, over,
Good.
out of
That's
my
actually
life.
probably better for
better.
you, not
Wow,
to have to.
it's
It's
kinda
healthy.
mature.
Yeah, it's
But
healthy.
wait a minute, you're
Well,
running into him all the time. What's going on now?
Why is it still a problem?
Oh, well, you know what? I don't really pay any attention. I mean, he does. He does come up to me. He tries to initiate conversation, and I just stand there as
It's
if
just
nobody's
painful.
even talking to me.
Yeah, so it's just uncomfortable and painful, and that's a shame.
I thought she
It's
was
not
going
even
back and
uncomfortable
forth.
anymore.
That's
You know,
Good
I
for
almost
you.
feel like I really wish that he just wouldn't even attempt it anymore. Like you would think almost a year later
Hey,
that.
this is the same guy that did this
right.
jump to
Yeah.
you. Look, this kind of guy has all kinds of potential to make you uncomfortable. Just stay away from him. You did exactly the right thing. And the girl, have you had any contact with her?
No, just that letter. And
She was a good
obviously, I
friend.
guess she must have felt so devastated and terrible about it. She's never tried to.
She was a good friend, wasn't she?
She was a very good friend of mine. She was my freshman year roommate.
I hate to. It's unfortunate that relationship
Well,
was lost.
she was despicable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she showed her colors.
How you been
Absolutely.
since? You been okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
New relationship?
I've dated since, and I'm not dating anyone now, but I'm absolutely fine with it.
All right.
Great.
Good.
Great.
Don't ever call the show
yeah.
again. You wasted that. Wow.
A healthy one.
All right, Danny, what's going on?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, all my life I've had like this thing connected to my right testicle, and it hasn't ever caused me pain, and it's almost like a third testicle. And what I want to know is it a third testicle, and am I more prone to have testicular cancer, or will I have trouble when I want to have kids?
All right. Drew, you know all about this?
We'll see.
I'm missing one, so I'm hoping. Denny found it.
Can provide
Yeah.
a donor?
Yeah, I yelled a little help, but I didn't. Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll talk to Denny. We'll go to break. We'll take a look at a Eagle Eye Cherry video, and then we'll be back.
Good.
The fire, and it burns like me for you. Tomorrow comes with one desire to take me out of the tree. It ain't easy to say goodbye, darling. Please don't stop to cry, 'cause you know I've got to go. Lord, I wish it wasn't so. Save tonight and fight the break of dawn. Come tomorrow.
If you have questions for Loveline, you can call us 24 hours a day. 323-520-LOVE. Long distance charges may apply.
Eagle Eye Cherry's our guest. Loveline's the show. When we left off, we're speaking to Denny. Denny has sprouted a third testicle.
Right. Is it smooth, Denny?
Well, it's like the other testicles, but it's much smaller than the other ones.
Has anybody ever looked at it?
No.
You can get cysts in your testicles. They're very common. Hydroceles or spermatoceles or varicoceles, blood cysts. And they're normal. Sometimes they have to come out. Sometimes they can affect fertility, though unusually so. Sometimes these things can be hernias because you're really not trained in differentiating between what is a cyst, what's a hernia.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, though, to know what is cancer, and I think all men need to be aware of this. And cancer really feels hard. It feels like a pebble or a rock in the testicle.
No.
So and having what you have, Danny, doesn't put you at any added risk for cancer.
Okay.
But I think a doctor ought to evaluate it so a diagnosis can be made.
Is it floating on its own?
It's probably
or
attached.
is it attached?
It's connected
part
to,
of.
Yeah, it's connected to my right
It could even be
testicle.
part of the...
Hold on, genius. If I whacked Drew with an oar in the head and he got a big lump, would you say you're growing another brain, or would you just say there's something
on the testicle?
On the
head.
testicle. It's not
Right,
even getting
it could even be
something's wrong.
the normal anatomy. There's something called epididymis, a cap that sits on top, feels kind of like some growing on it sometimes, but that's normal. So don't worry, Dennis. We'll get it
Have you
looked
had it all your life, or is it something?
I've had it all my life.
All right, so you have to go get it looked at.
Yeah,
by,
it's going to be nothing. I'm sure of it, but it should be looked at. Anna's out in the audience.
I'm a student at Washington State University, and I was at a fraternity party, and I met a guy there, and he invited me back to his room, and we went there, and everything was going real great, and we were going to have sex, and he entered me, and what I thought was pretty great, after about a minute, I heard something turn on, and it ended up being a vibrator, and he didn't ask me, and I felt very, very violated. And now when I see him, I I don't know what to say. I feel very violated. I don't know if I should talk to him about it or just forget it even happened or what.
What's happened since the evening in question?
I almost feel like the joke's on me. Like when I see him, he's just kind of like, "How you doing? How you doing?" I'm just like, "Hi."
What? Yes. Okay. Hold on. You say he entered you. Did he enter you, or was it
the vibrator?
I thought
turned
he
out to be
entered
the
me.
vibrator.
It was the vibrator.
Believe me, he is not thinking that he played a joke on it. He's
No.
probably thinking, oh, what a great time she
Yeah.
had, what great thing I've done for her.
That's a lot of effort for a guy.
How
He'd
do
be
you not
doing it
know,
for your pleasure.
though? How do you? Listen, I don't have a vagina, but if I did, I wouldn't be here, actually.
You'd be here.
I'd be like standing on a mirror at home, jumping up and down on the phone with my friends. Hey, Phil, come on by. Just come on by, don't worry. But you would know. I would know. I mean, wouldn't you know?
But she
I mean,
didn't, and she feels violated, and she feels deceived, and that's the issue. Did you want to have a relationship with the guy?
Well, I didn't really know. I just kind of met him, so
Yeah.
it was. I mean, something probably could have happened out of it.
I
but
can understand how you would feel sort of humiliated by this. Believe me, that I will go on the record saying that's not what he intended to do to
I
you.
agree. I totally agree.
And nor is he thinking any longer that he somehow pulled something over on you. He really doesn't understand at all how you're feeling. That's how he was able to do this without thinking about it and not really being empathic for what your needs were. And he thinks he was great and you had a good time.
But
and-
talk about confidence. You know, to pack the vibrator on the first date. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a certain amount of confidence.
Yeah, but don't worry. Listen, you're just experience. Make sure, this is what I was saying earlier, make sure your needs are met. Make sure people understand, a guy understands how you feel. You have the most intimate encounters with a guy, and he has no idea how you're feeling, what you want, what your needs are.
I would chalk this one up to experience, though, and probably move on. And next time, leave the TV on. You get a little light, you can see what's going on.
We gotta go.
Plus, if things get boring, always a little something to watch. You ever do that? You're getting it on, you look at the TV, and then you look down at your partner and go, and want to know if they saw you looking. Like once in a while, you look at the clock, and then want to know if they saw you looking at the clock. I mean, I've never done that.
Let's go.
All
We gotta go.
we're out of show. Eagle Eye Cherry, thank you very much for coming on. Where's that TV? There it is. Can you see that? Where's my camera? All right, they told me to hold the damn thing over there. All right, there we go. Desireless is the name of it. Thank you all for coming out. We do appreciate it. Thank you, Eagle. And until next time, this is Adam Crow for Dr. Drew and Diane Farr saying mahalo.
Loveline is a Stone Stanley production. Yeah.